Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hit Zone with your hosts, J Hits and C Rob. Sit back, grab yourself a drink, and let's talk sports.
Hello, everyone. It's your boy, J Hits.
And I'm C Rob.
And together, we're the Hit Zone. We're just two homeboys talking sports. Yo, my man, C Rob, man. There's been a lot going on this week, man. What's going on
man.
the other side of the world, man?
Hey, man, I can't even front, man. It's football season. We in this thing now. So, man, I'm hyped. You know. Gotta be real excited about the horns, but just college football in general, bro. But say that's just what's on my mind. But real quick, I want to ask you, man, what you drinking over there?
The official drink of the Hit Zone. Nothing more, nothing less.
Man, it's freaking delicious, bro. Freaking delicious.
No doubt about it. Well, this week, man, hey, we saw a lot of college football. I don't know about you, but hey, man, I was glued to the TV. You know, I was in and out on a few games. There was a couple that I stayed with. Of course, we saw our Longhorns and what they had to offer. So, get your thoughts on what you thought about this weekend with the college football slate.
Man, I gotta tell you, bro. Like I said, I was just happy to see football, man. I was just happy to see football. I know there was a game Thursday, Friday. There was so much football that I watched, like I forgot them. But that's just being real. But I did catch a few, man. Did catch a few. Just wanted to take a peek at the scoreboard, see if anything jumps off of this to you, man.
What jumped off about this one in particular, man, and it's the game that I actually watched from the beginning to the end, and it's Houston versus UTSA. If you watch this game, the one thing that stood out, that jumped off the TV screen when you watched it, was how physical both teams were. UTSA came out, they jumped out on Houston. I think it was like 21-7. Houston came roaring back, and the game actually went into triple overtime, bro. These dudes was playing hard. And you might was asking, like, yo, Jay Hicks, why the hell you watching Houston UTSA play,
Nope.
the whole game? Well,
Yep.
Texas fans, I don't know if you've seen the schedule or not, but the game after Alabama is UTSA. And let me tell you something about UTSA. That's not a pushover team, bro. Not by a long shot. They got a good quarterback, and they play real physical. So, hey, man, that was one that stood out to me.
I didn't get a chance to watch that game, man, but you said that quarterback can run. Like, is he a true dual threat, or can he only throw the ball like 20 yards downfield and then run a 4-4-4-5? Like, what do we have to look forward to watching that?
Well, I think his last name Harris, and he wears number 0. That what stood out a little bit to me. You know, you got a quarterback wearing 0. What I noticed about him, he could throw, but he uses his legs a lot, and he's a gamer, man. It seemed like when his team needed him the most, he raised his level of play, and that's what you want to see with a quarterback. And like, hey, man, he's not a slouch by a long shot, bro. He's a formidable opponent.
Like I said, it went to overtime with Houston, and Houston's not a pushover.
Yeah.
So, looking on this list, I did see the end of or a few highlights of UNC and Appalachian State, bro. That was crazy. I think App State scored about 40 points in the fourth quarter. But all you see, the biggest highlight you see of this game is Mac Brown dancing in the locker room.
Yeah, that was kind of a shocker. Like, Appalachian State stuck with him. I thought USC was a pretty good opponent.
Hey, man, what this tells you is, and UNC went to App State. Say, man, I'm never going to play a game at Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Like, you setting yourself up. Something else on this, Texas A&M and Sam Houston. This was a close game. It was very close early, bro. I mean, not just early. It was close the first half. And I know there's a lot of Aggies that's kind of questioning things, and they're a little. I've seen it on their boards. I've seen it on Twitter. They seem a little worried about how difficult that game was and how easy it wasn't. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, there's some national pundits saying that A&M going to the playoffs. So I don't know about that. Pump your brakes on A&M making a playoff run. I was in and out on that game a little bit, and like you say, man, the score doesn't dictate how the game really turned out. So yeah, A&M, I'm sure they're questioning themselves at this point because they should have really handled those guys there. So Sam Houston, come on, man, you should handle them, no problem.
Yeah, that's what's that? Not a bowl team. I don't know what they call it now, but yeah. Sam Houston's a good team for the division that they're in, no doubt about it. But against A&M, against the top recruiting class, best recruiting class of all time, and the way they've been recruiting over the last few years, they're supposed to be talented enough to beat Bama and beat Georgia and win it all. So hey, you know what? If I'm an Aggie, I'd be a little concerned. I'd be a little concerned too. Yeah, I mean, if I, as a Longhorn fan, if that was our final score against Louisiana Monroe, I'd be, oh yeah, we finna get run next week. That would be my thoughts. Well, moving on. I mean, not a lot here.
No,
not a lot here. NC State, Eastern Carolina, like, okay, all right. Now, Clemson and Georgia Tech were on last night. I want to address that one first.
Mm-hmm.
That game was close, bro.
yeah.
That game was close. At probably midway through the third quarter, you could see, okay, the Georgia Tech guys couldn't quite keep up with what Clemson was doing, and Clemson started out athleting them. But that final score, I think they scored like 2 or 3 times in the fourth quarter, man. Like, if I'm Clemson, I'm concerned, bro. Did you get a chance to see any of that?
I didn't see. I saw some highlights. I wasn't able to watch the whole the game, but the thing about Clemson, man, I got them going to the playoffs, man. Clemson last year, they had somewhat of a down year, if you want to call that a down year, for Clemson. But think about Debo, man, so Sweeney over there, man. I feel like he's going to get them boys ready, man, and I think they're ready, man. They're ready to make a push. I'm not going to count them out. That was just the first game. They're going against Georgia Tech. It wasn't like they were going against some directional school or something. They went up against Georgia Tech. And so, hey, I feel like Clemson is going to be there at the end this year, no doubt.
I don't know, man. I feel like last year they struggled. I think they were playing with a freshman quarterback. I think he was a freshman last year.
He's a first-year player. First year, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And I chalked it up to, all right, they struggled because they didn't have elite quarterback play like they had the previous, 10 years. What I saw last night, man, I don't think he's the guy. Yeah. Every top flight recruit ain't that guy. Everybody that's, oh man, he's a 5-star, he's a high 4. They don't always pan out, man. And I don't know. I just got this feeling before this year is over, they're going to start their freshman, Cade Klubnik from Austin. I got a feeling he's going to see a lot more PT before this season's over.
Could be, man. But, teams like that, man, they don't rebuild, they reload. So I'm sure they got somebody over there that can take them where they want to be.
Right. Well, I don't think they make it to the Final Four, but hey, man, I can't wait to talk about who we think will make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, no doubt.
I see we already got one disagreement. Back to this scoreboard, though. Florida State and LSU. Now, tell me you heard about this game, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I've never seen anything like it, but that might have been the most exciting ending of this weekend. Like Florida State had it won, but had it locked up, and then they gave it up, and then LSU gave it right back. Then Florida State gave it back.
Yeah.
And then you lose because you missed an extra point. That ending had everything.
Yeah, it was a good game, man. I thought LSU. I had LSU like really improving. You know, when they got Kelly. You know, I thought they was going to improve a little bit, but now LSU still LSU, man. Like they're gonna have another down year, man. They found a genie in a bottle a couple years ago when they won that championship. Man, they had talent all over the field, NFL talent all over the field. So,
facts.
Hey, man, we'll see.
Facts. That you know what? Real talk. That's how LSU does it. But hell, I guess that's how everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the Alabamas and Clemsons of the world, they have great quarterback or at least solid quarterback play, you know, every year. But LSU always seems to struggle with that, except for those couple of times. And they got the same type of talent. But yeah, that game was greatness, bro. It was everything. With this, just want to point out, Oklahoma won. Don't mind them losing. Don't mind them winning this time of year. How about you?
Now, if you watch that game, man, Utah wasn't like they were just, you know, pushing them all over the field. But yeah, they won. Oklahoma might have a improved defense for what I saw. Like they have some linebackers that can really run. But outside of that, man, I don't see Oklahoma, you know, being the same Oklahoma that they was on the Lincoln Rally for what I saw as far as offensively.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're vulnerable. You know, we'll do some picks later on, but I think this is a year that Texas can, you know, Texas might not win a lot of games. I don't think they'll win the Big 12, but I think they can beat Oklahoma. And hey, that goes a long way.
Yeah. Well, Mac Brown used to always say, beat Oklahoma, then go win the Big 12.
Yep. Beat Oklahoma, win the Big 12. Apologize to all Texas fans. That's the quote I'll never forget, bro.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that, you know, just since we're talking about that, I felt like I needed an apology too. And when he came on, he said that I felt better. I don't know about you, but I felt better.
Say, man, you know what? We make fun of him now, but you're right, man. Like at that moment, was that the Roy Williams game? Was that when he dove over?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yes. Yeah. We all of us needed a hug at that point. It was like how that dude just went Superman like that.
Yeah.
But still don't like. My bad. I like him. I just don't like how things ended.
Yeah. Get over it.
Yeah. Hey, win this week, I'll be over it. Anything jump out on about that to you?
Not too much.
I mean, Lincoln Riley, 66. You know, I'll say this: there's a lot of people clowning about USC and UCLA didn't have big crowds this weekend.
I saw that. It was real empty. It was 22,000. Have you ever seen a college football game with a Power 5 that produced 22,000 fans?
Not at the Rose Bowl. That's where UCLA plays. But I'll say this. Usually this time of year, it's probably about 70 to 75 degrees on a Saturday afternoon. It was 105 degrees, bro.
Okay.
Maybe it was 105 in LA. They ain't used to that. And if you're not used to that, you're not about to sit out and watch a football game, bro. There's too much other things you can do in LA. Something else jump out, man. Grambling. Oh my gosh. Is that Arkansas State?
That jumped out to you?
Yeah, man. I expected Grambling to be good this year, man. They got an NFL coach.
I think Grambling has had a team since Doug Williams left.
Say, hey man, Prairie View had been putting it on them for the last few years. Man.
Yeah,
That is way different from how it was back in our day.
I know, right?
But Notre Dame hung in there for a little bit with Ohio State. I think Notre Dame may have a little something. They still the same old, Notre Dame. They'll lose to somebody and or hell, they'll win out and then get run in the playoff. What you see
Yeah,
looking at that?
yeah. Notre Dame. I wasn't expecting them to be Ohio State. Ohio State is one of those teams that I got going to the playoffs. Um, yeah, but Notre Dame, man, they stuck with them. I don't think they're a pushover by a long shot. Notre Dame is one of those teams that can go on that kind of run. They lose their first game and go on a run and still get into the playoffs because they're Notre Dame.
Yep.
So yeah, it was a good game. They don't suck, put it like that. Notre Dame, I feel like that's something.
Yeah. There's some people on their schedule that probably nervous after watching that game this weekend. Do want to shout out the home team. Dallas's college football team, SMU, handled North Texas. It's nice having blowout wins in the first game of the year. That usually when that happens, you're the good team. You go anywhere, you can put up, 40, 48 points on somebody,
yeah,
and hold them to less, 10 or less. Like, all right, you might have something this year. Hey, Mustangs, we pulling for you, man. Y'all Dallas's team. Y'all the home team. Y'all in the intro, so we definitely pulling for y'all. Try to run the table.
Yeah, Notre Dame. I mean, not Notre Dame. SMU, man, they're talented, dude. SMU has talent. I like their receivers. They're real fast. Um, I could see SMU making a good run for a conference championship.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, well, I hope that works out. Also want to acknowledge. I know we got some Texas Tech fans. Y'all got a new coach. Y'all brought in some weak school. We don't even know who it is, but y'all got that win. But I think your quarterback got hurt. Hey man, if you're around, let's talk about it. Tell me something I don't know about the Red Raiders. Tell me how they'll win the Big 12.
And then there's a game on there that I think we both was interested in.
Which one was that?
That's our boys, them Texas boys, man. They went up against Monroe.
Oh, okay. I got something for that. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. That was every year that first game, you're a little nervous. You don't know what's gonna happen. But about, I don't know, what was it? End of the second quarter, started feeling a little more comfortable about what was happening. How about you?
Yeah, it started off a little shaky. I feel like yours was a little nervous starting off. I think he threw a pick, and I think he came back over to the sideline. Sark told him, "Hey, man, we're finna get you some easier throws, get your confidence up." And I think he completed 8 or 9 passes in a row, got his confidence up. It reminded me a lot. It was very, very strange of last year. We went through Card and Thompson, and they couldn't hit the deep ball starting off. Xavier Worthy was wide open, and they couldn't hit him starting off. And it had a very funny, eerie feeling to that. But what ears keep calling Ewers. Well, Quinn Ewers showed me that he's poised, man. Even like after he threw that pick, he came back. Didn't seem like he was too rattled. I like that about him. Like I say, he went on to complete 8-9 passes in a row, and I felt like that was good, a good showing for the youngster. Um, One thing, man, hey, our running back room, I think they're deep. I like what I saw from my freshman lineman up front, our offensive lineman, especially Kevin Banks, the left tackle. He went down for a little bit, and we all held our breath, like, "Oh Lord, please
Woo!
get up, get up." I was saying, "Get up, get
Bro.
up, get up, get up," and he got back up, man.
Yes,
But
sir.
what I saw with him, uh, he's very good in the run, man. He's very physical at the point of contact. I like that about him. So yeah, it's pretty good seeing some of the playmakers out there that we saw on Saturday.
Hey, man, I want to tell you who jumped off the screen to me was Jatavian Sanders, man. That dude, I hadn't seen an elite tight end play at UT. Oh, my man. It goes back, man. They go Jermichael Finley, David Thomas, and really, for me, David Thomas. But, yeah, man, what I saw Saturday night from Jatavian Sanders, man, that gives me hype. Like, that's a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a weapon, and I feel like they played ULM played coverage. They covered the deep. They covered the deep ball. They like, we're not finna get blown out by them throwing it deep every play. And so that gave space to our tight ends and to our running backs. And hey, props to the coaches for figuring that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Quinn was struggling early. He was trying to make the big play, and they had that covered.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, let's do some rollouts. Let's throw it to the underneath guy. Let's throw it to the back, throw it to the tight end, and we had success. Bijan got a passing touchdown. Jatavian Sanders did, and I think he had like 9 receptions, man. And he graded out as the top tight end in the country.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boy.
Yeah, that don't get you hype. I don't know what else can.
With yours being a quarterback, with Quinn being our starting quarterback as a young guy, first year guy, I feel like there's 4 things that helps a first year guy when he comes and play quarterback. I think Texas has 2 of those things. There's one is a great running game.
Mm-hmm.
2 is a great tight end that you can dump off when you're in trouble. 3 is a great defense. We don't have that. And 4 is a great offensive line, and he doesn't have that. But he has 2 out of the 4. So I feel that's those 2, the running back and the tight end, is going to help him a lot in his progression this year. What I worried more going into the game than coming out of the game was our offensive line being able to protect. It was Louisiana Monroe. We get that. Next week. As a matter of fact, we was talking about this before the game. Kevin Banks, right? Hey, Kevin Banks, you're great. You're a 5-star athlete. We think you're going to be awesome. But I can tell you this: if you want to be a first-round pick, Kevin Banks could be a first-round pick next year.
What do you got to do?
He's going up against Will Anderson, bro. This dude is the top player in the nation.
Yep.
And he come off that outside line coming off the end. If Kevin Banks can somewhat control this dude, man, can you see the Mel Kipers and all these draft experts projecting this dude? Say, man, he's gonna have his work cut out for him because that's the second best player that Alabama have on their team. And I'm sure he's at home licking his chops saying, I'm going up against a true freshman. This dude was blocking high school defensive ends last year. So, yeah, he's licking his chops. So I hope Kevin Banks is going to be ready and up for the challenge, man, because he's going to have a great challenge this year, next week.
I'm going to tell you, if he is good as you say, it'll be Kelvin Banks, Bijan Robinson, and Jatavian Sanders getting a piece of him every time the ball is snapped. Yeah. They're gonna chip him every chance they get. You have to.
You got to.
You can't be the reason you lose. Man, we couldn't protect our quarterback. And so with that being said, this is the week. We saw this on the calendar last year. I think year before. We was like, oh shoot. Bama and Texas doing a home and home? You like, oh, when? 2022 and 23. Oh shoot, man, that's a long time. Well, hey.
It's here.
Time is now. It's happening. It's real. It's happening.
The days are short, but the years, the days are long, but the years are short. And that's how it go.
Yeah, man. It sounded good to me. But I want to tell you, man, there's a lot of folks that say Texas is no longer relevant. Nobody cares. You know, they haven't won in forever. Sounds familiar, right? Mm-hmm. Saw this post on Twitter. We got the name cut off, but I'll give credit later. But haters gonna hate. But college game day is coming to Austin. Texas didn't make a bowl last year. They're a 20-point underdog. We got a redshirt freshman starting, and guess what? Everybody gonna be watching. Tell me what you been looking forward to the most in this one?
First of all, even with that being said, the Texas Longhorns are the Cowboys of college football.
My point.
Yeah, we're gonna get the big game. But what I look forward to, man, really, I don't see us winning this game. I'm gonna be realistic. We're not gonna come out of here with a win. But what I look forward to is our young guys testing their skill against a formidable opponent. Like I say, most of these guys that they're going up against going to be first and second round picks in the NFL. So this film is going to follow you around for the rest of your career. Right. So if I was those guys, or if I was the coaches, I would really iterate that to these players. Hey, man, you don't want to show bad in this game, because you show bad in this game, they're going to be like, oh, well, if he can't play, if he play bad against Alabama, well, in NFL, there's every team, all 32 are Alabama. So, yeah, it's a must that they show up and play well. Like I say, the scoreboard is one thing, but just don't go out there and get embarrassed. Don't go out there and put up bad tape, you know. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Like I say, one of my key matches, man. The key matchup for me is Kevin Banks and Will Anderson. That's a key matchup, dude, because if you can't block this dude, he's going to be like Larry Brown, what Bun B say Larry Brown did to the Cowboys. He's going to F your game up. That's what he's going to do. So we got to block this dude, man, point blank.
Yeah, man. I said it since the season ended last year. Last game of the year, we started talking about this game. And I said it then, I'll say it now. It's going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage. Now, it was great. Texas got that number one offensive line recruiting class. That was great. We needed it. We needed it because we proved last year against Arkansas, not Alabama, against Arkansas, we proved we was not SEC ready. We weren't. But now you got an opportunity. Like you said, Kelvin Banks, the rest of the O-line, prove the world wrong. Prove Kyle Flood's the best offensive line coach. Defense, don't get pushed around. If they can get 4 yards a rush, they're gonna win, and it won't be close.
Like I said, another thing too, Xavier Worthy, Nick Saban is the defensive back coach, and all of the Alabama corners are big corners. That's what he believes in. Xavier really gonna have to get out the line, man. We're gonna see if he can get out the line. If he's able to, because they're gonna bump him. They're gonna man press him. Get out. Let me see you get out the line. Don't get bumped off your route, and go get the ball. Let's see you do that this week.
Look for him to be put in motion a lot.
Okay.
I think Saturday night was very vanilla against Monroe. We ain't show anything. And I don't remember a lot of pre-snap motion. So I look for Xavier. If he's as good as we think, and if he's as smart as we think, they're going to use him. They're going to put him all over the field. They'll put him in motion. They'll have him in the slot. They'll move him outside. They might have him in the backfield some and run a route out of the backfield. Don't be surprised if you see something like that, because Sark did that in the national championship game. He did that with those great receivers that they had in Bama. So, yeah, definitely look for that. And not just for him, but with all that, like, they're going to find ways to get our best athletes the ball. I think he's going to pull out all the stops and hoping we can hold on. And I see it actually going as we might start out hot. We got the crowd, we got emotion. I think we might start out hot, and we might score on the first 2 drives. We might. And then my mind tells me at that point, Bama's gonna say, okay, all right, we get it. And then it's gonna be 14-14 real quick, and they'll pull away. And so I don't expect Texas to win. I think I said this before on another show that I think we'll hang in there. We'll hang tough. And in the fourth quarter, we might have an opportunity to play for a tie. And I've just seen this. I just see Quinn throwing a pick and Bama icing the game.
Yeah.
And us losing 38-24.
No doubt. When the schedule came out, we was all like, I can't believe they got this game starting at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. But that might play into the Longhorns' advantage, man. You get the Bama still somewhat sleepy, not ready to play football in the first quarter, like you say, and we can jump out on them pretty good. And that I can see that happening, man. I can see us going up 10 to 14 points, But like you say, man, that's Alabama over there. That's not Kansas. So they gonna come to play.
Hey, man, there's routes to victory. There are routes to victory. What? The Vikings? We're gonna talk NFL tomorrow night. We're gonna talk about every team and every division. So yeah, we'll talk about Minnesota tomorrow night.
Roll Tide, man. Hey, Roll Tide. If you can come on, we dropped the link in the description box. Click the link. We would love for you to come on, and let us know what you think about the game.
Rodney? And let me say, man, like I said, I know there's a lot of Longhorns that's real negative, but there are pathways to a victory. Like we both said, I think they might jump. Texas might jump out to an early lead. If you can keep momentum going, who knows what can happen. If I know it's I always say it's like talking about the Cowboys, if this and if that. But I'll just say if the O-line can hold up. If the O-line can hold up, there's definitely a pathway to a win. Now, if our O-line can't block their defensive line, we won't have a chance. But if we can hold up and give Quinn time and give, Bijan some holes, oh, yeah, we can play with them. If the ifs are the 2 ifs to victory is if our O-line can hang with their D-line. And then the other is if our defensive line is in their backfield and we stopping the run, hey, that'd be amazing. That's the least likely. Most likely is our O-line can actually hold up. And then we got a game and it'll be a shootout.
No doubt. Actually, man, we're gonna bring on the stream a bone hard, die hard Alabama. Pause. Alabama fan, man. This guy, as long as I've known him, he's been repping Roll Tide. Let's see what he has to offer, bro.
All right.
Hey man, good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
What's happening, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey man, I am sitting here recuperating from some surgery, riding with my wife and my mom, my auntie in the car, and I had to jump on this particular show for this particular week because I know I had to send my boy a text message and say we coming. Roll Tide is rolling in town on Saturday at 11 a.m. So get your pancakes ready, get some hot syrup because it's about to go down.
All right.
No doubt. Hey, I got a question, man. How do you see the game going?
Well, the thing about it is, I think Quinn Ewert, you guys new quarterback. You guys look really last week. Who do you guys play?
Louisiana Monroe.
Okay, Louisiana Monroe. Let's start there. It was a really, really good game. I think what's going to happen is this. Saban is 24-4 against his previous coaches. And, of course, last year, with him losing to Texas A&M with Jimbo, and then, of course, losing in the national championship game against Kirby, I think, first of all, Saban's going to come in with a little chip on his shoulder because he doesn't like losing to his former coaches. But as far as, on the field, I think that Texas, and Jay, y'all took me and my wife down there to the Texas, the spring game. I love Texas other than this week. But I think you guys have the athleticism that to create some challenges for Alabama this week. I think that with Sark and his offense and how multiple he is with the different schemes that he's able to use. The only caveat to that is Pete Golding was there when Sark was there, so they've gone against a lot of the offense that Sark has, unless he's got some new tricks in his bag, which I'm sure he'll today. But I think that Texas plus 20 is a good number. I think the line is still 20. I got it being around 17. I really do, because I think that the boys down in Austin, they're gonna get up for this game, and it could almost end up being a trap game for Bama. If they're not ready, if they're not up for it. But again, I think one of the key things is going to be that it's Sark, and it's one of his assistants, and he's not too keen on losing to his assistants, especially with the season that he had last year and losing those two games. And so I think it's going to be closer than 20 points. I think it's going to be more like but I think that
we didn't get a chance to hear that score prediction. What was that again?
Yeah, you kind of breaking up.
I haven't given you one yet. Because I'm just thinking y'all gonna hang around, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a good game, but it's not out of nothing. But I think that points. I think Bama's going. If you had to give me the over under, I think the over under probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 55. So
you think the total is going to be 55? You think this is a low scoring game? Or you're thinking Texas isn't going to score much?
You know what?
Hey, Rodney, you really breaking up, bro. I don't know if you're in a bad area or what, but you're kind of going in and out.
I'm going to say this. Texas has an opportunity to but I don't think I don't think we'll be able to score in bunches like Bama. I think they're going to run up to a two and then
Hey, Rodney.
Hmm?
See if it's like you're gonna chop all the way out. You in and out. I don't know. Maybe you can try to call in and call back. Hang up and call back because it's like.
Can you hear me now? Can you get me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Go
All right.
finish your point. Finish your point, and then we got some more to say.
Okay. Let me. There we go. We're at home now. So I think what'll happen is Bama will run out 2 touchdowns. You guys will kick. Texas will kick a field goal, and it's going to stay around that because I think that I think Texas has enough on defense to keep those new receivers that Bama has in check after they get them figured out. So if I had to give you a score, I'm going to say it's going to be something like 35-24 maybe.
Okay.
All right. Well, mine was 38-24. So, hey guys, it looks like Longhorn fan and Bama fan kind of agree on how this game is going to
go.
I
think it's going to be a good game. Yeah, I really do
I think if it's that the scores that y'all putting up, I think Texas can walk away with that with feeling pretty good about themselves.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because I feel like the main thing, the strengths that Alabama has are our weaknesses. You know, of like we've been talking about Will Anderson going up against a true freshman, bro. That's not good.
Yeah.
So, like I say, if we can just somehow get through the game healthy, don't get embarrassed, you know, and I feel like it'll be some. I ain't trying to get no moral victories here. Don't misquote me.
That's what it sounded like.
No, this ain't no moral victory thing. All I'm saying is if we can get through the game, like I say, healthy, and if we could somewhat, you know, make it a respectable game, man, and we go on a run after that, I'm with it, man. That's what I want to see.
I think that's going to be one of the things I'm looking forward to is it being that if Texas can hold strong, because they're talking about this defense being better than the 2016 defense at Bama with, you know, Will Anderson on one side and Dallas on the other side. And so that's where I think there's going to be a lot of that's going to, like you said, it's going to be a key matchup with the defensive ends in that line because they're even the new interior linemen that they have at Bama. I'm understanding from, you know, some alumni that they are so deep at that position, and we're talking about going 2, 3, 4 people deep that they're run stoppers. And so, and then the back end of the defense has really elevated their play with all the attrition that they have. So it's going to be a good game. It's one, you know, I was hoping that you'd be able to come over here and check the game out, Jamie, up in the man cave. But yeah, this is going to be definitely a good game to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we know Alabama's always going to reload. Like everybody knows that Alabama they like 5 deep.
Yeah,
I want to ask you, as you're a Bama fan, y'all have kind of gone through offensive coordinators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Stark, I think the guy at Ole Miss, and others.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Stark, in your mind, rank as far as offensive coaches that y'all have had over the last decade?
I honestly, I hated losing him more than I hated losing Lane Kiffin. I think, honestly, him and Lane Kiffin are the future of offensive college football. They are so multiple in how they can spread you out,
how they can give you multiple looks, how they can run virtually the same play out of 7 different looks. But Sark, and I'll say this, and I think Jamie and we had this conversation a while ago when it was told that Sark was going to Texas. I think Sark, some people are meant to be head coaches, and this is not a knock on Sark at all. I know he had to stop at USC, just like Lane Kiffin was at Tennessee, at USC, and now he's at Miss. They're so offensive minded where it's hard for them to take a back seat and let somebody else run it. But out of the two, Sark, to me, he had Bama running on all cylinders. Seriously, I mean, now with Lane Kiffin, it was a changing of the guard, and what I mean a changing of the guard, Bama went from being a run centric team to a pro style offense where RPO. Lane Kiffin brought RPOs and all these other things to Bama that weren't there before. But Sark, he took it to another level where, I mean, we could spread you out. We could still run Derrick Henry down your throat, or whatever running back was there. But yeah, Sark was, I think he was a one.
So that's part of those, I tell you, hits those hope, like if this and if that. The other part of if that offensive line holds up is, and if Sark is as smart as we think he is. Is he as good of an offensive coach as we think he is? Because we saw, I'll tell you from the outside looking in, we saw Bama's offense, and it looked completely different when Sark was running it in that championship game versus the previous coaches. It looked next level, and that was part of the excitement of him coming here. But what we're hoping for Sunday or Saturday is that he is that guy. He proves that he's that guy. He'll make his money Saturday if he wins that game.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I think last year when I watched Texas, there were vestiges of that. There were pieces of that, and you saw some of it last year. I just don't think that he had all the pieces as now. I think one of the big pieces is going to be when Jaleel Billingsley comes off of that suspension. That boy is a beast. If he can keep his head focused,
he's off of it.
Right thing.
He's no longer suspended. He's reinstated, right?
No, well, he was reinstated. I just read the last little bit, probably about 4 hours ago, and it just said that he was going to serve, I think it was 6 games from something that Alabama.
I thought they reinstated him somewhere.
Like I said, your information may be fresher than mine, but Jaleel Billingsley is a receiver and a tight end body, and that's the kind of stuff that makes Sark's his offenses move. And just like you were saying, Steve, it's just there's so many different looks that he can give you, and that's the thing I think that's going to keep Texas in the game on Saturday.
Let me ask you this.
You get me hyped now talking about a receiver and a tight end body. That's Jatavian Sanders.
Bro, y'all got some dogs down there at Austin. I ain't even got no lie.
Let me ask you this question, man. First of all, let me just state that you tuned into the Hit Zone. I'm Jay Hits, that's C Rob, and we have Rodney Pauly on, who's a longtime Alabama fan, who's giving us the rundown about everything that's Alabama football. The one question I have, we all know that a lot of coaches came from Alabama on our coaching staff. We have a lot of transfers from Alabama on our team. How much do you think that's going to play in the way Alabama comes out and play Texas? Do you think that's going to be a factor in motivating the Alabama team to play us with everything they got, or do you think it won't even be a factor at all?
I do think it's going to be a factor, and I'll tell you the reason why is from those of us that spent time on the capstone down in Tuscaloosa. We talk about it all the time. We now call Georgia Tuscaloosa East because Kirby Smart took a lot of what we call the process, those 5 elements, the process that Nick Saban has used since 2007 at Bama to create, this program. Kirby Smart's took that to Georgia and is building that program that way. So that's why when you a lot of what you look at when you see Georgia is a lot of Alabama in regards to the tenacious defense and how they go about preparing for the game and executing and staying focused within the game. You're going to see a lot of that at Texas. I mean, because again, Sark was a good student of Saban, and he said that. He said he's gotten his PhD in coaching at Alabama. And so now they're implementing a lot of that stuff. Jaleel Billingsley, I play golf with his uncle. And so, I get a lot of stuff from what's going on down there in Austin with that. So, yeah, so it's a lot. It's similar. It's going, Austin's going to be Tuscaloosa West in a little while. I'll say it like that. Because Sark is implementing the process. He's implementing the process. He's using that same strategy. He's not reinventing the wheel. The only thing that Sark is adding to it is his genius as an offensive coordinator.
This dude done got me so high pitched. Like, I'm so excited for Texas football. I might predict Texas wins.
Don't go that far. We ain't gonna go that far.
Oh my goodness, man.
Go that far.
But what you're saying, man, is like over the next 5 years, like Texas will be back.
Oh, you got to remember. Okay, so in 2025, y'all supposed to be in the SEC, right? So trust and believe. I think that the alumni of Texas is gonna give Sark everything he needs so that when y'all are officially in the SEC, y'all can give Bama some run. Honestly, I mean, because I think that, to me, there's certain programs that when they are on the map and they're relevant, make college football better, and Texas is one of those programs.
Yep, Texas, USC, Notre Dame, Miami, or Florida State.
Florida State, Alabama, yeah, all those what we want to call perennial blue blood football program. None of them have as many national championships as us, but anyway, that's a whole nother.
But Hits and I, we've been on record as stated, like, this ain't being homers. This is what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
With NIL, nobody can compete.
Nobody. Not with a
and I would think if the SEC, I still can't believe those presidents was like, yeah, let Texas in, because everybody else in the Big 12 is like, oh no, y'all shouldn't have done that.
Well, the thing about it is this: it's going to be a couple of things. I hear what you're saying. When you talk about Texas, you're talking about a school that has its own network, that has, we talking about that old money, that tech money, that all of that's part of that pie. And coming into such a storied conference like the SEC with the NIL money, it's gonna make it I won't say it won't make it hard for everyone else, because you still have to understand something. As a college athlete, you want to make the money, but you also want to be a champion. And the one thing that's going to happen is that's what's going to keep Georgia in the mix. That's what's going to keep Texas A&M in the mix, because after a while, it's going to be the SEC and then everybody else. It's going to be the SEC in there, especially when Oklahoma and Texas join the SEC. I think that when you talk about super conferences, the SEC is going to be a super conference. Yeah. And the NIL money, I think in some regards, is going to level off, and it's going to, the playing field is going to become even, because I think there's going to be things that are going to come down the line where they're going to say, okay, we're going to have to put a cap on this, or we're going to have to put some sort of regulate this in some way to make it even, where Vanderbilt and Mississippi State are still going to be able to compete too. Because I think what's going to happen is, not because the Longhorn Network is going to be a precedent to the SEC not having an ESPN SEC, but having its own network, period, where the deal is going to be wrapped up with all the colleges and not just the Longhorn Network. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's all part of ESPN, right? So yeah, they're gonna move the money around. Trust me, Texas gonna get their money because I think that contract ends in 2030.
Yep.
But Texas gonna make sure they get 98% of that money. But what were we were talking about? Texas to the SEC. I still think there's gonna be haves and have-nots.
Yeah,
and even with the bit like we Hits and I both, we said like, yeah, there's gonna be a separation of, hey, the NCAA football, that's the rest of y'all. The other part of us, we are our own thing. They don't have to be part of the NCAA. And we think that's gonna be a bulk of the Big Ten, a bulk of the SEC, and then maybe a couple of others. But there's gonna be some have-nots in the SEC and the Big Ten too.
Oh yeah.
Because Texas isn't going to say we're going to take less money or equal money to Vanderbilt. Not when things separate themselves. They're just going to say Vanderbilt can just fall down to the others and somebody else can come up.
Well, I think
that's some Big Ten schools too.
Yeah, I think also too. It came down a couple of weeks ago, not last week, that the NCAA is going to move the playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams. Yep. So I think that was a strategic move by the NCAA for college football. For the SEC and the Big Ten or whatever conference don't have the power conferences. This way, a team in the Big 12, because I think they're going to have 6 conference winners. Or what did they say? Conference winner. They said the highest rated teams in the conference. So that don't necessarily mean the winner, but the highest rated team 6, and then they're going to be 6 at large. So if I was Ohio State, I don't want to go to the SEC no more because I know that I'm going to get one of those at large bids. Or if I'm a school in the Big 12, I don't want to go to the SEC no more because I'm going to get one of those at large bids. So like I say, it was a strategic move and a power move really for the NCAA, because they didn't want to do that. They was going to keep it at 4 from here on out, but they saw the writing on the wall that college football was going to 2 power conferences. Like we discussed in other previous shows, it was going to 2 power conferences, and then the rest of the colleges are going to play for like somewhat of an NIT, and that's where it was going. So they said, hey, let's just move to 12. With that being said, also, like you were saying, with NIL money, I feel that yes, all Texas need to do at this point is win. If Texas ever becomes a winner, it's over. It is over. With the NIL, it is slap over. Because if you say, hey, I can offer you the same amount, Texas can offer you as much money as any other college can offer you when it comes to NIL. And if the deciding factor is winning, oh man, we're gonna get everybody.
Yep. And you get to be in the best city in the SEC. Period. Period.
Bro, you ain't never been.
I knew that was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be a sticker.
Bro, not some small town. Not some small town that ain't got no interstate. No, we talking about city.
Bro, if you have never been to, okay, I'm gonna give you these cities.
Okay.
If you ain't been to the Grove in Oxford, Mississippi, if you ain't never been to Baton Rouge, okay, if you ain't never been to Tuscaloosa, if you ain't never been to Athens, Georgia, if you ain't never been to Gainesville, Georgia on game week,
yeah.
Don't say that, bro. I
mean, because game week, he's talking about college towns. He's talking about college towns. That's sweet and that's quaint. I guess College Station would be great too. But I'm talking about cities that you have to live in and build a life and perhaps a career. We talking about college education and opportunities to go pro. If you don't go pro, but you good in business in Austin,
you
no other city in the SEC can compete with that. That's what I ain't talking about game day.
Okay, I mean, like I love Austin. Jamie will tell you, we had a good time down there in Austin. I enjoyed it, truly enjoyed it. I think it's an awesome city. I was just, like I said, with my mom here. We were just talking about different cities in Texas that were really, really nice, and Austin was one of them. So I think, like I said, I live in Texas, so what I'm saying, I ain't from here, but I hear the good, So and I enjoy it here. But when it comes to game day experience, what you were talking about, you're absolutely right. I can't say anything negative to that. But when you're talking about game day experience, there's the 5 places that I named to you, and
I don't doubt that at all.
Nighttime in LSU. Nighttime in LSU. I think that's the
it's
most
called
best
Death Valley,
atmosphere
bro.
ever. Yeah,
that's number 1.
Yeah,
that's one.
Hey, y'all's places got nicknames. Death Valley, the Swamp. You know what I'm saying? Like
Death Valley, the Grove, the Swamp.
We're not talking about game day experiences because we all know.
Holistically, yes. Austin,
Texas might have one of the worst game day experiences.
At least they working on it though. Yeah. They working on it. But yeah, we ain't talking about game day experiences, bro. No, I know where my school stands on that.
However, when you recruiting a player, game day experience is what's going to get them in there. They're not really worried about how they're going to be a successful businessman at a freshman in high school. Like a senior in high school. They're not really worried about that. They're trying to see, when I run out on this field, how it's gonna be. And that, I could see Texas kind of taking a back seat to those other schools. But as far as a city, for a city,
mom and daddy gonna see that and be like, okay, I don't care about the tailgate.
Quick stories, and I'm gonna have to leave you gentlemen in this awesome discussion. I hope one day you guys will invite me back in, even when Alabama isn't playing Texas. But Tua Tagovailoa, and our current quarterback, both of them were recruited by other schools. And they said when they came to Alabama, it was different. Everything was different. And they came during game week. Both of them came during the game week. And they said that experience is different than every other college. And now you understand, both Tua and Bryce were recruited by just about everybody. And they said it was different coming to Tuscaloosa on game day. It was just different. And so to that point, I mean, that's those intangible things that you can't really quantify, like Jamie was talking about, that make it where when you want to go to this school, this is a school I want to go to. And and whether it's the academics, the environment, the staff, or whatever it is, there's something in the air in Tuscaloosa that makes people say, this is where I want to play.
Oh, we know we have on a true Alabama fan, and thanks for joining us tonight, man. We really appreciate you. We'll definitely have you back on. I mean, this college football season is so long, man.
Yeah, man, and
it's gonna have some ups and downs and twists and turns.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. And I am I am an Alabama, just as Jamie said, a diehard. That's what he meant to say when he said a diehard. But I do. I love college football. I mean, Saturday is my day. I watch college football all day long on Saturday. And then on Sunday, that's my wife's day. She pulls for them. That team that's in Dallas, I can't think of their name right now, but she pulls for them. And it
sounds like you have a wonderful wife.
Oh yeah, man. God bless her. God bless her.
Before you leave, we're gonna discuss it later. But let's get your 4 playoff teams.
4 playoff teams. My 4 playoff teams.
Well, let's just say 3. What's your 3 playoff teams?
Don't say everybody other than Bama.
Other than Bama, I think it's going to be Georgia again. I think that Ohio State, and I think if the stars align I don't know because I got to think about somebody from the Big 12, and
You don't have to.
Not at all. Because I
I'm-
don't have nobody in the Big 12 going.
Right.
but this is what I'm saying though. If you're saying for the 4 teams, and of course we know that the power conferences are going to have representatives this year. So I'm thinking, of course, Bama, Georgia's going to be in there, and so you're going to go. Then you're going to go Big 10, and I'm going to say Ohio State is going to they're going to handle their business.
Okay.
And the Big 12 is so wide open because if
ACC,
Bro, what is your team? What is your 4th team?
the way
they don't have this.
the way Clemson looked yesterday, no. Florida State, they're about 2 years away. They're about 2 years away. Florida State's about 2 years away. Miami's not ready. So who else do you have in West Virginia? West Virginia look good, but they still.
Well, who do you got?
Who do you got?
Say the Big 12
And
team.
we're going to write them down, and we're going to bring you back at the end of the year. So just who your 4th team?
Okay. I can't do it if, so I got to lock it in. So, see, now y'all got me thinking ACC. I didn't
know it was going to stump you so much, bro.
I really want to say honestly, if Texas, I think Texas can beat Oklahoma. I think Texas can beat Oklahoma.
Oh man.
I really think Texas can beat Oklahoma. I think Texas can beat K-State.
What is your 4th team?
Texas.
You got Texas as your 4th team?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because you're on the hit zone, or you really think Texas is going to be the 4th team?
Really, man. Seriously. Because one loss team, a one-loss conference champion get in. And so if you look at the conference schedule for Texas, who if they have a good showing this weekend, who can beat them?
Baylor.
Oklahoma.
Baylor's the best team in the Big 12.
Huh?
Baylor is the best team in the Big 12.
We'll see. But my mother is calling me since she done traveled all this far. But I really enjoyed y'all fellas. Okay. And we're going to do this again soon.
Hey, Rodney, man, we appreciate you coming on. Love your feedback with Alabama football. And all we got to say to you is hook 'em horns.
Roll Tide.
Hook 'em.
Later, my brother. Much love.
Hey, hit me up, Jamie, so we can get together soon.
I got you.
All right. Later.
That was fun.
Yeah, man. Always nice to have guests come over to the house, man, and chop it up in the game room with us.
No doubt, man. We always got to put them in the man cave, man.
Woo.
Let them know.
Bro, you really stumped bro.
That 4th one, that was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah. You really stumped him with that one, buddy.
Man, he went all around the world just to say Texas.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm a homer, but I'm ready for the pick Texas.
Yeah, you said it's a Big 12 team. Like, it ain't. We're not.
We don't got to be Big 12. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh my gosh.
Well, see, Rob, it's our turn, man. We got to pick our Final Four, I guess, at some point in the show.
Say, man, I just want to say, I always thought I was like the biggest. I've always been the biggest like homer that I know, like how I am with Texas. Like, whenever I drive down 35 and I just pass by it, I just look at it and I'm just smiling, like, man, Texas right there, you know. Like, man, that's been in my heart for forever. And, man, I got a baby down there, like at the school as a student, and man, I've always hyped it up, man. But I ain't never heard nobody talk about being on the campus and just with the vigor and just the passion that your boy Paulie just had about being at Bama, man. Like,
actually, I actually think he used to play for Bama, bro. He played for Bama at one point in time.
Okay, hey, he buried the lead.
Yeah. So.
Like, you probably should have led with, hey, you said Bama fan. You should have said former University of Alabama player.
Yeah, he's Bama to the heart, man. Ever since
because he had passion with that. Like, when you step on that campus, you see that crimson in that room, like, I thought a tear was gonna come down, man.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
he
Man.
loved Bama.
Yeah. He's a Bama fan, man. Biggest Bama fan I ever known. And
Okay.
you know, Bama's one of those teams, man, that most people hate them because they win a lot. So I think that's the only Bama fan I know. Personally.
You know what? I don't know any real ones. I know
Yeah.
people that have jumped on the bandwagon, over the last decade.
Yeah.
Because, it's easy. It's just like all of a sudden there were New England Patriots fans in Dallas. Like, come on. Since when?
Yeah.
That's just what happens. We ain't tripping. But yeah, I still see a pathway to victory, man. I can see it happening. Maybe that's just my heart talking.
It's your heart.
But bro, if they win this game,
I already told you what I'm gonna do, right? If they win,
what you gonna do if they win?
I'm coming on the show with a bottle of champagne. I'm popping it. I probably pour it on top of my head like I just won a championship.
Nah, man, like we talked about this off the show. That Pat, like I told Hits before we got on, I was like, what if Texas just dominates Bama? And he said he like hears alarm, he's waking up because there had to be a dream. Like, no, what if? Like for real. Texas dominates them and they win just going away. Like it wasn't even close, 41-10. What's that response?
Hey, if Texas win 41-10 against Alabama, bro, we back. You can say it. Put it in 6-inch letters on the front page of the newspaper. Texas is back. No point. Hey, that's what it is. You cannot dominate an Alabama team 44-10 and say you're not a good team. That just doesn't work like that.
But then the next week, Bama lose to Troy.
But look, this is what I'm worried about, though. I'm not even worried about the Alabama game. We know about that. We know what the outcome going to be. I'm worried about that next week. UTSA, bro. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I watched their whole game from the beginning to the end. That is not no opponent that you just can skate by. No. These dudes gonna come to play Texas. And guess what? Their whole team is a bunch of players out of the state of Texas, some even from the state of Austin, from the city of Austin, bro. So they're coming to play us. And what I worry about, we go into the Alabama game, we get beat up, we get nicked, we get injured, and then here come UTSA. It's called a trap game. That's what it's called, trap game.
You know whose issue that is? That's not our issue. That's not our issue, bro. That's our issue next week. Right now, we can't be worried about 2 games from now.
Okay. And I'm with you. I'm with you.
What's in front of us, man? What's in front of us is an opportunity.
And I'm right there with you. But I've seen where a team loses to a team and that team beats them twice. What I mean by that is we go in, we throw everything at Alabama but the kitchen sink. We empty our tanks. And just say we come up a little short. Not by a little short. Bro. Sometimes you know what? Part of me feel like that year that we played LSU when they went on their championship run and we barely lost at the end, I think that took a little out of ourselves. That game did. But I don't remember who we played the following week, but it wasn't UTSA. It wasn't a team like UTSA. I guarantee you that.
Hey, man, I respect the Road Runners. I really do. But I don't care. Like,
yeah. And I get what you're saying, because if we're the University of Texas and we want to be where we want to be, we got to beat them.
Yeah, it's not being arrogant. It's not. It's like, trust me, it's not. We could lose to them, sure. But man, if you're like us as fans, we can be concerned, but the team better be straight. And regardless of how this thing comes out, if these guys are who we think they are, next week's gonna handle itself. But hey, if they are who we hope they are, we'll win this. Will we make the Final Four? And hell no. So that being said, bro, who you got winning these conference championships and going to the playoff?
Which one? My Final Four?
Let's get the Final Four.
Alabama, Georgia. We already know. We can put that in there. The last two will get tricky.
Okay, here we go.
Number 3, I got Ohio State. Okay. Say, bro. Number 4, I got Clemson. I know that's boring. I know that's we see that every year. I didn't stop the presses with that one, but man, I got Clemson, bro. I feel like teams like Clemson, like I say, they don't rebuild, they reload. Last year was somewhat of a down year because they had a freshman quarterback, but I think they got a little more confidence in him since he got some games on his belt, man. I see them coming in with a coach like Dabo, man. He gonna get his team ready. So, like I say, I got them as my number 4. So, like I say, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Clemson.
Yeah, that'd be really boring. So yeah, those your top 3. Yeah, unfortunately, I got the same, and that's boring. But my number 4 is USC. I think the Trojans are a sleeping giant. I think Lincoln Riley is the best offensive mind in certainly college football, maybe in football. And in that conference, with that mind, he can push them to go undefeated. Those games that are close at the end, over the last few years for SC, those will be wins because he's gonna pull it out the bag. That's man, I wish he could have been our head coach a couple of years ago and for the Cowboys. But I don't think he even interviewed with Jerry Jones. But yeah, that was my hope. But yeah, I think the Trojans. I think it's an easier path for them to run the table than Clemson.
Sounds good, bro. That's why I can't wait till a 12 team playoff, because with the 4-team playoff, usually the best team going to win the championship. That's how I go. But with 12, it's about attrition. So if you think about last year, Alabama lost both of their top receivers going into. If they would have had to play another game, they weren't going to win their next game, bro. They had both of their top receivers down. So that's why I can't wait for the 12 game playoff, because we're not going to get the same Final Fours. I promise you we're not. It's not going to be Alabama, Georgia, Clemson.
Not every year.
It's not going to be that. It's going to be a team that's going to come in, going to get hot at the end, it's going to be healthy, and they're going to run the table.
Yep.
And
Houston
that's what's making it exciting.
Run the table.
Make it exciting.
Run the table and win the Big 12, and then go in the playoff, win their first couple of games, and lose in the championship game to Alabama.
Yeah. That's where it's going to go, bro. And that's why I can't wait.
Hey, man, what's your prediction for the Longhorns of record this year? Don't include the bowl game.
9 wins.
9 wins.
Let's get 9.
Woo, man. Say, bro, if we end up with 9 wins, I'll be, man. All right, wait, who we lose to? Them 9 wins, who you lose to?
So that means we lost 2, right?
No, it's 12, and then plus the if you make the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
But let's just say regular season, 12 game.
So it's 3. Baylor, TCU, Iowa State.
Wait a minute. They play a game this week too.
Who?
Texas does. We play Alabama this week.
Oh, damn.
So yeah.
Alabama.
so 8-4.
Hold on. Alabama. Let me take it back. Alabama, TCU, and Baylor.
Right, man. You know what? That's a pretty dang good year right there. Man, that's all right, man. I'd be content, bro.
But think about it though, dog. Is that unrealistic to think that we beat Oklahoma and we lose to Alabama, which that's the number 1 team in the nation. We lose to Baylor, the 9th team in the nation, and we lose to TCU, who always play Texas tough. I think we have a worse record against TCU than we do Oklahoma. So is that being just unrealistic to think?
No, man. No, that sounds really great. I got them. Oh man, I'm looking at the schedule right now. Yeah, Bama and UTSA.
If we lose to UTSA, man, everything's off. I'm turning the TV off. We ain't watching them no more.
Then at Texas Tech in Lubbock, weird things happen in Lubbock. Like Texas could go into Lubbock 3-0, and we'll be on cloud 9, baby. We done beat Bama, UTSA. Oh man, and we could go to Lubbock and lose. I seen it done before. Yeah, I see them losing at Kansas State, at Oklahoma State, Bama.
Bro, we the same team as last year.
I see them going 8-4, man.
8-4.
They're going 8-4.
So you got them losing one more game than I do.
Yeah, they lose that last game against Baylor at home. Just don't lose at Kansas.
You say you got to lose to Kansas State, right?
Yeah, Kansas State and Oklahoma State. That's back-to-back weeks. Like that'll be just in case that Bama game is close, and then we win our next few games, and we'll be Texas in the top 10. Yeah,
I'm going on record. Put me on record right now. We're gonna beat Oklahoma. We're gonna beat Oklahoma.
Okay.
I saw that Oklahoma, man, they don't have nothing. Oklahoma don't have a BB.
All right.
That's my factual opinion.
All right, hey, man. Everybody's entitled to their factual opinion. Everybody. Who you got winning the Big 12?
Baylor.
Same. Well, all righty then. I hate ending on an agreement like that. It's so anticlimactic, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. Hey, man, we're at the end, bro. Good show, man. We had Alabama fan on, and we discussing Alabama, Texas. It's a big game this week, man. Join us tomorrow. We're going live again tomorrow. We're going to discuss NFL football. It's going to be a big Cowboys show. We have a lot to discuss about the Dallas Cowboys. They're going into they're playing their first game Monday night. NFL kicks off Thursday night. What's the Thursday night game again?
Who knows?
Damn, I know what it was. I know you're looking it up, but they kick off Thursday night. Cowboys play Sunday night against Tampa Bay at Jerry's World. It's going to be a great game.
Bills Rams.
Bills Rams, exactly.
Super Bowl champion.
There you go.
Bills maybe this year's Super Bowl champs.
Bills are picked to win that game on the road. I think they're favored by like 2 points or something like that.
But we'll see what our predictions are for the NFL tomorrow.
Exactly. We're gonna wait.
And hey, you know what? It ain't gotta just be about the Cowboys. Please, by all means, come in, comment, get in on the chat, like not just chat, but get in on the little screen with us, man. Like, let's chop it up about your sorry team. Let's do it.
And we're doing 2 shows this week. We felt like it was a week we need to do 2 shows because we had a lot of college to discuss. And tomorrow we're going to dedicate that nothing but for NFL football. Like you say, man, join us next week. Call a friend, tell a friend, let them know that we're going to be on live. Our show going to start around 7:30, between 7:30 and 8. We're going to start. Most likely we're going to shoot for that 7:30 start time. Come in, comment, join the live, whatever you want to do. We're NFL heavy, Cowboys heavy. Next week, tomorrow, tomorrow, Wednesday, we're gonna discuss heavy Cowboys football. You got anything, C-Rock?
Hey man, just want to thank everybody again for checking us out. We enjoy the hell out of this, man, and we hope y'all do too. And please, by all means, get on with us, get interactive with us. We enjoy that.
No doubt about it. And with that being said, man, I'm your boy, Jay Hits.
C-Rob.
And together we're the Hit Zone, reminding you to always be stronger than your strongest critic. We out. Peace.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'll see you next time on the Hit Zone.